Hey there, what's on here? It's been quite a few days since the last, shall I say, vlog? If I could call it, if I could call those things right now, like this. You might notice that the sound quality from my last video at the end and right now has changed significantly. That is because I'm under a blanket. Gonna probably edit it like that in. Yeah, it felt like it was much clearer, and since I'm in a very tall room, it seems like voice quality, at least in videos, is suffering to the point where it was like, oh, I heard about, oh, throw a blanket over yourself on the microphone. Maybe that will help, and I think it helps. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna keep it up like the entirety of this. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I want to talk a little bit about Marathon. Marathon had its server slam just I guess 2 days ago. 2 days ago the server slam ended basically, and people were already during the server slam like, oh, this is going to flop, this is going to be like High 2.0, this is going to be Concord 3, and I don't want to be like a shill. I personally like if games would succeed. It would be a kind of cool thing, and that, I don't know, if you could put in a youth word into it, you could just say that feels like child behavior, wanting or seeing that the game is failing. With High Guard, you could feel it in the air. You could the tension was palpable, so to speak, because like a lot of the staff got laid off at the studio that made High Guard. I don't quite remember exactly which one that was, but with Marathon, I think people want, at least the developers would like the games to succeed, as much of a cold take that is, and I would like it to succeed too. I probably have like a few criticisms on it. Oh my god, my arms get heavy. There's a few small criticisms that I have, like maybe about the game, but something that can't be fixed. Some of them are even very practical, I think. Not the fixes, but the problems that I have are really like rooted in practical stuff. I think in the intro sequence, people were complaining about it like being very flashy and stuff, and the colors were like very striking. I think so as well, a little bit. It brings you up to speed to the lore of Marathon, of the universe, I think, which is fine, and it is immersive, I would say, because as a runner, your consciousness does get uploaded to a shell, and in the release cinematic, I think it was also talked about, or it was at least hinted, that every shell, or every operator of the shell, if I could call it that, was like going through a grounding exercise to basically get used to the new shell, as since the last time they basically died. I think it is a very fitting, shall I say, storytelling tool. That is the main criticism that I would have in the intro. The user interface, I don't think it's that bad out of rate. Out of rate, yeah, you have to get used to it, and in the beginning you get bombarded with intro messages and stuff like that. I don't like that, really, but apart from that, after those initial like intro or tutorial messages, it was fine for me. Could navigate it decently enough, I would say. And as with every extraction shooter, the Cycle, Frontier, may its soul rest in peace, there are a lot of things that are kind of a process to get used to. And I think a lot of people are going to get turned off the game, and a lot of people are going to be like, oh, this is way too different from the Marathon that I used to know. Carnage, I think, talked about that as well. That's something of a subjective opinion, that's completely different from the 1994, I think, released Mac-only version. They were like, I don't like it that way. I think it's fine. What else? What else was there? I kind of agree about the UI stuff. It could be better. What definitely needs to happen is like in raid, user interface in raid, because if you are in a raid and want to swap out mods for weapons, that needs to be a bit smoother. Else you take the weapon out of the raid, or you need to be able to modify it on the fly in the raid. I was completely stressed out of my mind when I noticed I can't reliably unequip the mods of a weapon because I didn't have inventory space. And the second part is I couldn't inspect the weapon that I wanted to modify. I know that would have taken like a little bit extra time, but I think that is something very, very important if you need to load on the fly. That is like the main criticism that I have with stuff in raid. Time to kill is okay. Weapons are okay. I find a lot of the weapons very interesting. It's not the standard, full automatic assault rifle. Or stuff like that. You have a charge pistol. You have a lock-on SMG. You have a lock-on assault rifle that can also overheat, so it's not too unbalanced. You have a double-barrel shotgun that is more effective against players and stuff like that. The rook mechanic as well. It's not like a standard scav mode in Tarkov where you are like, I'm going to go into a crew with a lot of scavs, scav buddies, and go to a point of interest and camp out that point of interest. No, you basically are solo as a playing rook, which is okay because you can safely loot up on points of interest by actually accessing secure resources, because you can mask yourself as UASC bots, which is interesting, very kind of nice. Aesthetics are fine. I like near future games, or games that have like the aesthetic or the lore that they play in the near future. Like I think World War III, Voyager Across the Unknown, even if I'm more of a Trekkie and stuff like that fan, be that as it may. And Menace. Menace is also kind of a near future scenario that isn't post-apocalyptic. And I hate to like bring into like the our graders into a marathon video. It's not going to be like that I'm going to be ragging on about Ark being bad or something like that. I didn't even play it. I saw footage of it and I was like, it looks interesting. It might be my cup of tea, but I don't have anyone else to play it with, so I'm like, I don't know. Something that I kind of like was not for me. It was maybe it's a good setting. I like the environment as well. But we're fighting with makeshift weapons made from junk, and I was like, do we have to? Do we have to fight with weapons made from junk? I know that we're like resistance fighters, but do we have to fight with like weapons made from junk? Can we have something kind of sophisticated? And I think that Marathon for me scratches that exact itch. It's like post-futuristic weapons, like extremely far into the future. I don't know if that's like exactly if I got the exact time frames right, but I think Marathon plays like 300 or 1,200 years into the future, so I was like, why are people complaining about that it does not really look realistic? I think that the art style is fine. Didn't play a lot of the marshlands, but I played a lot of perimeter, like the 7 hours. I'm sorry, it's not that much time. I only played on the server slam. At least I think the art style is okay. I don't know if my playtime warrants me to really go into depth about design choices. I'm not a designer guy. I'm not going to presume that I know a lot about design. I play games, I like them, and then there's people playing games together, then I might be inclined to join them. I'm at least looking forward to playing Marathon, be it alone. I really like the solo play there as well. You need to be a little bit smart about the decisions that you do, and playing in a crew as well. My brother likes the aesthetic. I think my brother likes the aesthetics of the game. And I've got the collab server that I already played Darkside on with a few acquaintances that I made there. Shout out to Skalvir. I think I wasn't really able to join a lot on the streams because I had stuff to do privately and need to do work on videos, and I kind of want to be focus myself on that without having something running in the background. I'm so sorry. And with other potential VTubers as well, or YouTubers, I don't know, content creators as well. Yeah, someone on that collab server also wants to play Marathon. I think I'm gonna write to them, not write about them, but write to them about when they would like to play. Probably this week, probably next week. I can go absolutely rampant next week because I've got holidays. Vacation is the professional term, but I'm kind of looking forward to playing it. That's like the only thing that has me worried, is that you get sniped like instantly. Like normal time to kill for the rifles is okay, but for sniper rifles you get two shot and you get downed, and if you don't get to cover in time, then you just straight up die. But you can still get rebooted by your teammates even when you're completely eliminated. And I think it's just more about decision making and positioning more than it is about being like extremely snappy on your aim. It's more like really the decision making that needs to be very, very good. I think I had a very lucky roll during the server slam, but I think I got a thermal scope on a volley rifle, a 3-shot burst rifle. So I don't think it can be that hard to find reliable thermal scopes, unlike in Tarkov, where it is a fucking sought after treasure. I think that is something worth noting. It's just straight up easier to find, I guess. It's much easier to find that than in Tarkov, maybe, or an Arena Breakout. I know that I didn't really play a lot of Arena Breakout, but like I said, I was busy. Everyone else was busy playing other games or straight up busy with their life, so didn't really have time to play that. But I still like those games. I still think most of these games can have merit. Even if they are live service games, even if they have fear of missing out, even if they're built on FOMO, some of these games are, I would say, worth to play. Some games might be more worthy of your time, or you straight up don't have the nerves to play them. I think that is quite okay, since Tarkov and extraction shooters in general can be a very polarizing game, where it's like, oh, this game is shit, I died 15 times and make 0 progress on my 3 quests. I had that in Tarkov, and to an extent in Arena Breakout as well, but I played it alone. Shared suffering is much less suffering, as the old saying goes. So yeah, I think that's my 2 cents. I might have like a bit of an apprehension to its success, but I nonetheless think that I would really like it. I would really like to play Marathon, to watch as it unfolds. We didn't even talk about the SFIT, or the compilers, or the Flector, or the aliens. What about the aliens? And that is something that is going to probably unfold during the entire game cycle of Marathon, if we let it. If I know that it is a live service game, and people are very apprehensive about that as well. And I don't want to be completely toxic positivity like, but I also don't want to be toxic negativity like. Helldivers is an example of a live service game, as is, I would say, Arena Breakout. Our Rivals at least has one. All of these have a certain amount of FOMO. I don't think most games have to capitalize on that, but it's important that you yourself don't let yourself be, I guess, captured by that fear of missing out. All I want to say is, I don't think it's going to be too bad. I really would like the gameplay and stuff like it to speak for itself, and I hope that Marathon is going to be enjoyable game to watch, to play with other people together and stuff like that. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. I'm starting to talk in circles now, and it's gonna get hot under this blanket. I don't like that. I'm gonna probably stream now. I don't know what to stream, but yeah, gonna get right on that. Goodbye.